Alright, what is up everybody? Shadow Scout 0013 here, coming in with another unit breakdown, this time on the BX series Droid Commandos. And I wanted to just go over multiple different lists. I think I have 6 of them, kind of to go over that are a little bit different from each other. A few experimental droid ones and just a few regular ones, and talk about the differences between them. And yeah, but first, if you wanted, you can probably look in the timestamp down below for when the video starts. I just want to go over the giveaway for the Rebel Trooper expansion and the different ways to enter in to win for that. So the first way to enter into that is to be a subscriber and leave a comment down below. I will be picking the winner July 4th weekend and letting you guys know and sending it out then. But the second way to enter is to go on over to the Patreon, and you can, subscribe there, be a member, and you're going to get everything early and get entered in to win a little bit more if you are a subscribed one and helping out the channel and, just doing what you can to help out with giveaways. Then you get extra giveaway points basically. And another way to enter is to head on over to the Discord. There you can, just become a member and let's see. Whoa. Yeah, become a member and just kind of talk about whatever you want. We talk about hobby stuff. We talk about the different lists and different, factions. Sorry, I can't even think of it right now. And general chat, just rules questions. If you need help for anything, if you do battle reports, if you are a commissioner or commission painting person, then by all means go ahead and get on here. What I do is I go on over to the server level, and from the starting of the giveaway until the end of the giveaway, I look and tally up the names of who gets on here and who's been active in the Discord. That kind of gets you in to win. And yeah, if you haven't had the chance to head over to ComScan, they don't have any of the Shadow Scout tokens just yet. They should be getting here hopefully soon. He'll get that up whenever he can and let me know. But these tokens are probably the best tokens out there, and these graphics are insane. The way they look, just the way they feel, they're heavy duty. These things are awesome, and he's just another small business guy, and I like to support those small businesses, so you can head on over there to kind of get an idea about getting some tokens. Okay, we'll go ahead and get into it now. Sorry about that and how long that took. Alright, so let's take a look at the BX droids. So the BX droids, they have AI dodge move. So unless you have a face-up order token, your first action must be a dodge or move, which isn't that bad. And we'll talk about, if you do the vibro swords or the shields, if you have an AI move, you might not get the aim before charge, but at least you get that free action, and then you can take another dodge after that while you're in melee. They are impervious, so when you're defending, if the attack ball has Pierce X, you're going to roll an additional defense dice. They roll red defense dice, which is really nice. You're going to be able to roll however many with Pierce, so they might last a little bit longer with that impervious. They have scale, which is really good against the difficult terrain, and they can move up to height 2, still at a climbing speed of 1. You have scout 3, so they move out pretty far, which is really great, and sharpshooter 1, which is very helpful nowadays, especially with Ewoks and the low profile stuff going on. Yeah, and the way that cover is, it's really nice to have that sharpshooter 1. They have 1 health each. There's 4 naturally into the unit, plus a heavy, so you'll have 5 sometimes. They have 2 courage, which is pretty good, especially with the suppressive weapons out there now with Empire. They surge to hit, which is great for, CIS usually, and or guard. They usually don't surge, so it's nice to have that offensive surge. They are speed 2. At range 1 to 3, they have 2 white dice that are surging, so that's pretty good. They have a black and unarmed melee. They have a heavy option, a training, comms, a weapon option, and a grenade option. So plenty of variability here and ways to, scale them out. So the strike team here, it's the same exact thing, but you just have to have a heavy, and it's just one other in here, so it's just 2 minis. And the mini added by the cards or the heavy is becoming your unit leader. So the unit leader is always the last to die. So your heavy will be the last to die in a strike team, and they're fairly cheap, which is really nice to have. So let's take a look at the heavy options. We have the BX Series Droid Sniper, which is range 1 to 5, 2 red dice. They have lethal, and it's immune to deflect, which is really good. So you can have Pierce if you have the aim, but if you don't give them an order, their first action is not going to be able to aim. So that lethal is sometimes not going to happen. So just prepare to try to get them in order, or if they don't have an order, emergency transponder could be a very, very good idea to add to this unit if you know you're probably not going to get them orders. And the Dioxis Mine Saboteur is a range 1 area of explosion or AoE, weapon. And it's a black and 2 white. It does surge, like I said. It takes an action to arm the Dioxis Mine, and the detonate so each SAB has detonate a Dioxis Mine, which matches all the other SABs. So if you have 3 BX Droid Commando, either strike teams or regular commandos with the Dioxis Saboteur, you can keep like one full unit with shields in the back, kind of just helping your back line and putting out mines, and then maybe 2 strike teams that go forward with the Dioxis mines and like strike teams, like I said. And the one in the back, if the 2 strike teams die, but they were able to throw out a few Dioxis mines, then the one in the back can still detonate a Dioxis mine. So there's that, just in case. And it is Blast and Poison 1. So the Poison 1 is if you get that wound through, then they will get a poison token, and after that unit's activation, they will lose a mini, which is amazing against the Commandos, because obviously it's going to bypass their Kataran armor. And like I said, this does surge to hit, and yeah, it's a little bit cheaper. It's 28 points versus the 30 points for the Sniper Droid. And yeah, these things are can be fun to play. Maybe not the most, competitive, but now that we have Commandos, it just kind of puts them more into the mix, in my opinion. So let's look at the training slots. I'll go over mainly the main, maybe 3, maybe 4 that I would choose. If you've got the Vibro Swords and you're playing maybe EXD, or Experimental Droids, I should say, maybe Into the Fray could be good, because if you're playing SABs, they're only at range, it's a range 1. And so if you're going to be getting close enough, maybe Into the Fray could be great for extra defense. Offensive Push is probably going to be great, because if you've got a Super Tac Droid, they have a 3-pip that allows units with AI to recover. And so you'll be able to get a free recover with that offensive push, and their shields, because the shields, like I'll talk about, will, have recharge too. So if you exhaust them or they're used and you do recover, you get those shields back. So offensive push is a really great card for that. Situational awareness could also be amazing, because they have AI dodge, so they'll have to take a dodge and then maybe move, and so you've got shields and a dodge and situational awareness, so you can cancel 3 crits that come at you. And with all the, like I said, T21s that are out and all the critical out there, then the situational awareness might be really good. And tenacity, if you do plan on bringing Vibro Swords and just trying to have fun and getting close, then tenacity could be a very, very good option. Those are usually the ones that I would take. You could make a case for Hunter, because you can't really take the aim action if you don't have an order. So then Hunter might be, if you've got the extra points, then that could be a very good option to bring. For the comms, like I said, if you are having fun and you plan on getting really close with the Vibro Swords, maybe Comms Jammer could be really good. The Emergency Transponder is probably the best, because if you don't get that order, and because you need to give it to other people, like your Force users or anything like that, then Emergency Transponders could be great to get that free aim. HQ Uplink could also be pretty good, but very expensive, and you're not coordinating it to anybody, so that's pretty tough. And yeah, those are mainly the top 2, maybe Comms Jammer and Emergency Transponders. Maybe if you are doing hacked comms unit, that could be fine, because if you're planning on, again, using the Vibro Swords or the SAB, and you're trying to get close, maybe hacked comms could be okay. But mainly the main one I would choose is the Emergency Transponder. That's gonna be the best. All right, so for their weapon upgrades, they've got the deflector shields, so you're going to gain shielded 2, so you're going to have 2 shield tokens, and recharge 2, so that whenever you recover, you can flip those expended inactive shield tokens back over to be active. 10 points, not bad, very awesome. I seriously wish that the Mandos had this. The Shadow Collective Mandos had shielded 2, recharge 2 for the 10 points, because it's 10 points for them, but they don't get it back. Ah, jeez. Yeah. Hopefully that's changed soon. But yeah. Yeah, don't even get me started. All right, so Vibro Swords. The Vibro Swords is a red and a white in melee instead of their usual just black. And you're going to gain charge as well. So you get a free attack action after you move, which is fairly nice. And it's only 6 points versus the 10. So not a bad choice. Maybe for grenades, if you do get close, then if you have the Sab, maybe you could arm and then maybe shoot with ion, impact, or suppressive. Those could be okay. And then as a reaction, you blow the mine, which you're going to hit yourself, but at the same time, you might hit them as well for a second attack. And or the smoke grenade could be good. Now, they don't have low profile or anything, so it's just at least going to give them cover. And it's only once, so you're going to have to kind of pick and choose. Most of the time, you're probably not going to bring a grenade, unless maybe, again, you're trying to have the charge and the saboteur and you're trying to get close. Maybe having a grenade could be okay. But yeah, so these are the BX droids. They're very mobile, very cool minis. I love the shields on them. And yeah, we'll go ahead and look at a few different lists. Let's look at a Grievous list. This is 11 activations, 800 points flat. Grievous has Esteemed Leader, Aggressive Tactics, Endurance, and the Annihilator. He's got the Esteemed Leader to make sure that he stays alive a little bit longer, because you're going to have 6 core units, and 3 of them have the PK series worker droid, so you're going to have an extra 6 wounds, or almost an entire naked B1 unit worth of heals. The Aggressive Tactics for the extra surge, because the T series is going to have direct core unit, so you're going to be able to basically coordinate the entire chain of B1s all the way up to a BX strike team. And then the only thing in your bag will be Grievous, the T series droid, so 2 command tokens, and then 2 strike team or 2 special forces tokens. So that's not too bad. That's actually pretty decent. And so you'll be able to get the Aggressive Tactics off, and that's without giving out orders. So then maybe you give out an order to Grievous and or the strike teams. Then again, you have, extra surge tokens. He has Endurance because he's probably going to get shot a lot, and having that extra Endurance because he's only Courage 2 is really nice. And he's got the DT-57, which is 2 black, 2 white, range 1 to 2, and it's versatile. So if you are in melee, and because he's got Arsenal 2, you can choose to use a lightsaber, a trophy lightsaber in melee, and then maybe you could do an attack at range 1 to 2 outside of melee that's critical 1 and still pierce. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage if you can use him right. And it is in melee too. I mean, I guess you get to take your pick of what you want to use, but it's kind of up to you. At least he's very... You have options, I should say. So that's pretty good. You have a T-Series T-Series Tactical Droid with comms relay, so if you have to give him an order with maybe the orbital strike, so you have to give it to him. You don't have to necessarily give it to him. You could give it to Grievous still, because it just says a commander, but the wording says that once this round, at the end of a friendly commanding droid trooper unit or friendly field commander, it can perform with the following weapon. So you won't get to use it with Grievous, but whenever you maybe draw the T-Series droid, then you can go with him. So if you have to give it to Grievous, you can. That's not a bad choice. And then, so if you don't want comms relay on there, you could just probably go with maybe improv. You've got 3 battle droids with the E60R. It's basically their anti-armor impact to rocket trooper. You have 3 E5Ss for the extra critical 1. And then you've got 3 PK series worker droids to be able to bring back either the BX strike teams or more battle droids from Esteemed Leader, or if they're just getting hammered, you can just bring back your own guys. And then, like I said, 3 BX strike teams with the sniper, emergency transponders, and the deflector shields. So, yeah, that's not bad. The emergency transponder, again, is for that extra aim. 11 activations, not too bad. The next one, this is the experimental droids with a snail. So it's only 8 activations, but you have the Kalani with aggressive tactics and recon intel to just kind of get him in a little bit closer to the BX droid commandos. You've got 3 full squads of droid commandos with the sniper, situational awareness, and deflector shields. So that way, if they do have to have their AI dodge, or if they, do anything like that, you still have basically 3 shields to use. And with Kalani's Strategize 2, you can gain suppression, choose up to 2 friendly units at range 1, and each chosen unit gains an aim and a dodge. So basically, if you do go with Kalani first, then you're probably going to move and then strategize and give 2 more BX commandos an aim and a dodge. So now they have 2 dodges with situational awareness and deflector shields. And then with AI, direct AI unit, you can give one of the BX droid commandos an order without even giving out orders just yet. So when you do give out orders, you might be able to give more out to the other 2 commandos. So you've got at least your special forces all having an order and don't have to worry about the AI. And then maybe 2 of them will have an aim and a dodge extra. You've got 1 battle droid with the E5S Trooper and the PK Series Worker Droid. You have a regular battle droid unit with the Rocket Trooper. You have a Super Battle Droid with the B2 Ha Trooper, so you have at least Impact 4 in here, along with a Snail Tank. So this Snail Tank doesn't have the transport, it just has command node. So during the command phase, you're going to be able to issue an order to a core unit, so at least you can give that to maybe the Super Battle Droids, because they're not going to be able to coordinate, or you can give it to the B1s, who will coordinate all the way, hopefully, to the B2s. So now all your core have an order, and at least maybe one of the strike teams have an order. Or if the Kalani Mini is next to the Snail droid, what you could do is have Kalani AI direct the Snail droid, because he's got the defense protocols on, and so your heavy has an order. And then their heavy is directing to the B1s, all the way, hopefully, to the B2s. So the only things in your bag are Kalani and the BX Series Droid Commandos. And that's even before you give out orders. So hopefully, if you do give out orders, you can give them to the BX Series Droid. Especially with the Do Not Underestimate Armeens and Roger Roger. You'll have basically perfect order control for the most part. When you do have, like, Orbital Strike, Kalani will be the only one with an order that is given out, and then all the B1s and the Snail Droid will be having an order as well, because maybe you AI direct the Snail Droid every time, and then the Snail Droid battle tank, gives out the orders to the B1s and all the way to the B2s. So again, the only thing in your bag on even that one is the BX. So you pretty much will have pretty good order control. And even when you use Mechanized Incursion, you give it to the Snail Droid, and then you give it to a BX Commando. The Snail Droid, directs basically the battle droids here. And then you only have 3 orders left in your bag. And then you can AI direct one of the other BX droids. So then you only have one. You have Commander and a Special Forces in your bag. So yeah, you've got pretty good order control with this one. It's only 8 activations though, but you do have a few different tricks up your sleeve. Now, the Snail Droid with defense protocols and armor-piercing shells, you do have quite a bit of impact in here. So you will have at least, impact 3, 5, 7. You have impact 7 in here, critical 1, and yeah, that's it. But the other good thing is that the Persuader tank has the ion gun, and the ion gun is also great against shields, because before anyone rolls in, before the commandos, regardless of faction, the commandos, the Mandalorian commandos, the Republic commandos, or if you're going up against a mirror match against the BX commandos, they can't spend their shields whenever you use the ion gun. So that is really nice to have. So yeah, that is the experimental droid one. You have a fun one. Okay, so if you're just looking to have fun, and you have 4 Magna Guard, which I doubt you do, but just we're gonna pretend. All right, we'll take one out because maybe most of you have 3, and it's EXD. Or you only got 60 points. We'll just say you've got a B1 in there with at least a PK series worker droid. Now you have 10 points left to kind of do what you want, however you want. Maybe you want to bid. You've got 10 activations here. You've got Kraken with Endurance because he's going to probably strategize and override. So you're going to want that extra suppression off. And he has charge himself. You have a battle droid to probably just bring back any of the Magnas or the Commandos. You've got 3 Magna Guard because, again, they have charge. And then you've got a BX series droid with the Vibro Swords for charge and the Deoxys Mine Saboteur, along with situational awareness, so that they last a little bit longer. Now, anything with the Deoxys Mine, if you want, again, into the fray so that they gain that surge for defense to keep them alive a little bit better, then sure, that wouldn't be a bad idea. And then you've got Droidicas, mostly for line of sight blocking, and or if you do have to go with something like bombing run or whatever, and you do need a few speed 3 units, then you can. And or, having the extra shield while they're up is awesome, because then you can also spend a surge that you're getting each round to increase their speed to 3, I think for 1 action, if I'm not mistaken. It could be 2. I don't have, if you all really care, I'll go ahead and just bring it up just to make sure that I'm doing this correct. So you can increase their speed by 1 during their next move. Yeah, so it's only during the next move. It's not during the entire activation. So yeah, you could at least, move speed 3 and then take a range 1 to 2 shot, and then you have emergency or 1 to 3, sorry. Move speed 3 and then shoot range 1 to 3. Maybe 2 red, 4 black, so 6 dice. Suppressive, not too bad. And again, immune to deflect, so it's not terrible to fight against a droid user with Droidicas. But yeah, it's mostly to help provide cover for the Deoxys Mine Saboteurs. Yeah. And it's just a fun one because mostly everybody has charge. You have, 3, 6, 7 units with charge out of your 10. So yeah. Alright, so a much more competitive style list. We'll have Kraken here. It's got 9 activations in this list. You have aggressive tactics for the extra surge. You're going to have comms relay just in case you want to use it. You don't have to have it. Obviously, if you want a 5-point bid, then you can just take that away. You have a T-Series droid with improvised orders. You've got 2 battle droids with the E5S Trooper, which you could, if you felt like you wanted more impact, then obviously you could just change that out for the Rocket Trooper. You have 2 PK series worker droids in the list. You got 2 super battle droids with the B2 Ha Trooper. And then you have 3 BX droid commandos with the sniper, offensive push, and the deflector shields. So that way, again, whenever you use Do Not Underestimate Our Means, when this card was not divulged at the start of the activation phase, you can choose up to 2 friendly units with face-up order tokens, and each unit recovers. So at least your 2 out of your 3 are going to recover. Not too bad. And that offensive push, getting that free aim when you move. So at least if you do the AI move and you recover, or you use your offensive push, then yeah, not too bad. And you at least have impact 4. If you wanted a little bit more, then obviously you could change one of the E5S's to a rocket trooper. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's the most competitive. I would just say it's more competitive than at least the last one. And, with Kraken, you can change out Kraken to be Kalani. The only reason I gave Kraken in here was because of the Override 2, just in case, because you've got quite a few units. You have direct with the T-Series droid and coordinate with the 2 battle droids here, but then it stops at 1 B2. So you at least have orders on 2 of your B1s and a B2. You don't have direct or anything with Kraken. And even if you did have, Kalani in here with the AI, direct AI, you're only giving it to like maybe the Super Battle Droid here. And so all your core has an order to begin with, and then you can give something out. So that's just kind of up to you. You're welcome to kind of change anything out. You don't really have to have comms relay, like I said earlier, but it's just up to you. And I have all of the different, objective conditions and deployments ready in these lists, and all of them are down below, just in case. All right, here is one from Emperor Atlantis himself. 13 activations. This one has Bosk with Hunter and targeting scopes, and his 1 pip as well for the Deoxys mine. You have a T-Series droid with improvised orders and electro binoculars. Now, you don't have to have improv, but if you wanted, you could. And the electro binoculars is great for anyone here. You have 5 B1s altogether. 3 of them have the E5S. 1 of them has the E60R, which I've changed myself just to have a little bit of impact in here. It was 4 E5Ss, but obviously since they're all the same price, if you want to mix and match them, you can. And then you have a naked B1 in here, probably for the back objective and stuff. You have 3 Dioxys Mine Saboteur strike teams, and then you have 3 Droidicas, which is, again, really good for like bombing run and stuff like that. Even breakthrough, but you've got 13 activations, which is pretty good, and a lot of firepower, which is not bad. The strike teams, the Deoxys Mine, again, is going to be great for the Commandos, and kind of to prevent your opponent's army from coming in a certain direction, because the Deoxys Mine, it might deal a damage, but you're also going to deal a second one from the poison, so it's always super nice for that. 13 activations. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty nice to have 13 and an all white, except for the all white save, I should say, except for the BX droids here, which are red saves. And last but not least, a little fun one that I kind of cooked up to be specifically an anti-commando unit. So you have a T-Series droid that's by itself. You have Maul with Force Choke, Force Push, into the fray, Tenacity. Maybe we'll see some Force Choke coming back, because Force Choke, again, bypasses the Katarn armor. And then with melee, maybe you took out 3 and there's 1 left. Well, you can Force Choke and you're free. You're good to go. Into the fray for the extra surge tokens for yourself. Tenacity to have 5 red, 4 white, and melee. Yeah, you don't surge, but at least having the 5 red is really nice. Impact 2, Pierce 2. Yeah. And then you have Cad Bane with Duck and Cover, Situational Awareness, Comms Relay, and Electro Gauntlets, so that he can put out his tokens. And so if you divulge Maul's 2-pip and Cad's 3-pip, which you can do because Maul's 2-pip, if we just take a look at it real quick, just to show you guys, it says discard this after it's revealed, and with Cad, you're going to have to select it for round 1. So you can infiltrate with Maul. Hopefully, if they're all 800 points, you've got at least a 1-point bid. If you wanted more of a bid, I'm sure you probably could get rid of something. It's up to you what you would want to get rid of. But you can infiltrate Maul, and then you've got Cad Bane with his bomb token, Smoke and Mirrors token, and his token. So if they infiltrate, they might get a chance to just blow themselves up. And maybe you've got Maul infiltrated. So you've got some other units on the board and or on the objectives. So maybe like you put the bomb on the objective when they think that it's going to be you. And so they infiltrate there because you're not deployed there, but you have a token there. So maybe they infiltrate. The bomb goes off. Maybe they lose 1 of those guys. They can't use Katarn armor. Maybe they lose 2 of those guys and they want to use the Katarn armor. So now it's gone at the beginning of the game. So you're good to go at just firing all the shots at them as much as you can. And then if you needed to get Maul or Cad Bane into melee, Cad's got his gauntlets for 4 red and immobilize 3, so they're not going anywhere. And it's suppressive. And then Maul, with Force Push is not going to be too bad. And then the Force Choke is not too bad. And with 3 actions, counter recover, Force Choke and Force Push is pretty good. You've got 3 battle droids with the Radiation Cannon Trooper and the PK Series Workers droid. So that way, if you are able to get close enough with the B1s, then hopefully that Rad Cannon gives them the Poison 1. and again, that bypasses that Katarn armor. And then you have 3 BX strike teams with the Deoxys Mine, Saboteur, and the Deflector shields, so that you've got lots of poison in here. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to get rid of Cad Bane and put Bosk in here and have his 1 pip with poison, then sure, that could work as well. But I just figured, at least having a bomb just go off with Cad's, 3 pip. The 2 red, 2 black, blast, impact 2, suppressive, surge to grid, kind of go ahead and give them a suppression to begin with. Unless it's obviously Delta Squad. But yeah, guys, that is really it. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you liked the video, please leave a like. Please subscribe. It really helps a lot. I will leave the list ideas in the description down below. And make sure that you head on over to the Patreon to become a member. Anything that you do helps support the channel, which is really nice to have. Go ahead and join up onto the Discord. Just start chatting away with whatever you want. If you got questions, if you've got lists, I love seeing the list ideas you guys have. It's really nice to see. And I like you guys posting. Like, if you are going to have a game soon, then you wanted some feedback, or if you are looking for some ideas, then please post them. It's nice to see. If you guys are interested in TTS, please, come over here and look for a game. It's really nice because I love playing TTS. It's mostly because there's not really anybody in my city that plays in person. And yeah, that's really it, guys. I will catch you guys later, and I wanted to give a huge shout out to the Patreon members: Emperor Atlantis, Daniel Padilla, Anthony Estrada, Grant Saunier, and Tyson. You guys are fantastic, and thank you guys so much for the support. And may the rest of you have a wonderful weekend.